Hello everybody. In this video, we're going to be using the template that I mentioned in the last one. It has already set up that we need, so we can create our next project. And when I'm looking as a possible next project, I want to do something relatively simple, just to understand a little more the Tailwind before we jump to a bigger project. So I want to make something personal that probably everybody will use and it could work. And I was thinking some kind of like a Linktree clone. If you're not familiar with Linktree, is like they call it like the link for your bios. So whenever you put social media, like connect with me, it has that little page with different links to connect to different places, and you can set up the link to go to different places or referrals, things like that. So I was thinking, inspired on this. Of course, we're going to make it really, really simple. Probably something like this style, and some like gradient in the background, more square buttons without the social media on the bottom, just the square itself. Um, this actually page has a lot of functionalities. You're not familiar, like you get like analytics and a dashboard, I think like we're not going to be doing anything like that. We're just doing the front end section where you have your name, your picture, your avatar, um, a little slogan, and then just the different buttons that we can apply. And I think that was the perfect example how to use Tailwind to move through those different places. So let's actually get started. So the first thing that we're going to be doing this is I will, in the template that I send you, I will use this template, create a new repository, and I will choose myself as the owner. I will call this Linktree Vue clone. So a simple Linktree inspired clone front end on Vue. Visibility, I will choose public for now. And hey, I didn't know that we can ask Copilot to do something about it. We are not going to be using that. So let me just create a repo. I'm going to wait to create. Cool. We Linktree Vue clone. So now we can pretty much copy. You can copy the HTTPS and you will grant you like the login, things like that. If you have your key set up, I didn't went through that process, but if you go through the process, you can use that. Or even if you have the GitHub CLI, you can go through that. But for most of you, it will be HTTPS more likely. I have my key, so I will use this one. I think it's faster for me. So now that I have that, I'm already in my project. So I will paste that. Actually, I need to put a beginning. Git clone. This is the report that I will clone. But and enter. We go to Linktree, to npm install, just to install the dependencies. Okay, I have like an error in my folder. So this is actually the folder, but the npm install, everything is there. So I can open code here, and I can also meanwhile do npm from development environment. And that should be more than enough to have it here. Let me refresh. There you go. Hello there with the router. And I think, yeah, it's working. So let's back to the code. I will select my profile, the one that we're using for the class. And I closed it before. I didn't tell you the guys this, but if it asks you to install recommended, I will say yes. That will pretty much install the recommended add-ons that you can add to this code. And I put those here in the extension JSON. That's why I give you that one. And if you already have those installed, it doesn't do anything there. Okay. I will install one more, but it's more personal. I don't want to make this like the for everybody. I like it. So it's called Error Lens. And this what it does is the error is showed right there where something is happening. So I like to install it. That will make me do something like this. Let me see if I can see it. Let me just if I add semicolon. Uh, no, no, that type of error, but there you go. Like the parsing error. I don't need to put my mouse there so I can see the result. It just give me right there what is the error that I have. So now I get the point. So that's why I like it, the error less. It's a faster way for me to see any type of issue. Uh, Looks like Pretty had an issue, but like now it looks like it's working. I don't know what happened there. But yeah. So that will be. So for now, let's clean up the project a little bit. So the first thing we go to package JSON. And let's change this to name of a folder. Link tree view clone. Everything stays the rest. And what else? Need to change here index instead of link tree clone view. So we have a different name there. And that's it, I believe here. Keep the components. I will remove the that menu. So let me go to my application view. We will not be using the nav menu for now. Probably not even the script setup. So let's keep as it is. And what else? Now we can remove this one. Views. We're going to keep the home page. Yes, let's change this to be an info page. Why info page? Because I want to keep it like so the way that I was thinking. Let's see where I have it. I close it. But like have the avatar name, all the different links. But the first one will go to like your bio or your bio. Click and open a second page. That's the thing that I was thinking to use. And that means that our router need to change. Let's change this to info, call it, and let's import the info page. I think that will be for the cleanup for now. Let's see. Hello there. Cool. Info. Yeah. Other page. That's okay. And that's it. I think that's it. Yeah. Now that we have that, we did the cleanup. We can just select all the changes and put what we did there and clean up and commit it. The idea is to do little changes, and those changes will be changing will be um, committed to your Git repository, and later everything uploaded to GitHub per se. Okay. Now that we have that, I think it's time to start working in our main application. So let me go back to my application view. I will remove the flex elements. That this will not have anything, pretty much just the view itself. So that means we can do a little. I want to play around with the background. So with the class minimum high screen, we are telling that at least take the whole screen. And if we do a background, let's do reddish 300. We should be able to see like that's pretty much the background. I want to make it look a little bit better, so I was thinking doing some kind of um, linear fading thing. So if you look to Tailwind and look for the background, you will see there's one called background. We can do a linear. That will be the fading, and we'll go all the way to BR. That's the bottom right. And then we need to specify start from one color, from probably gray 900, like really dark one. It will stop or will go through via gray 800, and we'll finish to go to gray 900. So this is what it does in theory when it works. Oh, forget this. This is two bottom right. It's a gradient that actually goes to the bottom and to the right. So it will start from the top screen all the way down. So we'll start with this color. It will transition to this other color and then get back to this color. See, we have, and in this place, the color that we started, the same that we ended. So this screen and this screen will be pretty much the same, and a little bit more um, lighter in the middle. And you can see it right there. Like that's pretty much what we have here. That linear. Of course, this need to change now and it should not be like that. But I think the linear looks really, really cool. Um, Let me see if we can change the font. Let's do the Sans family. So it looks a little bit better, probably. And that will be it. So let's add it, change it, app that view layout. Cool. Now that we have that, we can go all the way to the home view and start making some specific changes. So I will add here, well, link card view, and we keep it empty for now. Let's do a simple paragraph. This is a link card. Oh my god. So how pretty does someone like to play along? You failed at the beginning. Oh, I still have the toggle associate error. So let me fix that. In printer here. And save it. Let me just the prioritization without the link card. Just that one will the fix error in that particular file. And we can get back to my link card. If I save it, it should work. Maldita one associate. Okay, she's still looking at the other one. So that means I need to reload my page. There you go. This is the link card, and this is the one that will be put in or on the main page. Let me change the layout here. So we have Chrome right away. Cool. So now, so we have the link card, we can just reference this right here, and we can do simple like import link card from component link card view. Right, we will just view reference. Let's comment it out so we don't have the error, and let's start working with the component. So we will start with the main. It will be a flex element. Let's make this to be the same size of the screen, at least. Let's make this column so everything will be stacked. Item center. I don't need justify. And let's add a padding on X left right of 4. That's like 16 pixels. Let that a padding on top and down of 8. And then we can put the main content through here. And we can do now put a D to profile header will be here. And that will be a simple div. And that will put the header. Um, let's put for now our name. And everything will be here. So I will put product format for now. And I will put a paragraph like a slogan right here. And yeah, let's start looking in a way what I needed. So we just need the image on the top and name and the slogan. And we need to put those in a way that actually looks a lot better. So let me get back and we need to have an image. We need a source and the out. And this image will be probably, let's actually do something with the refs right now. And we'll stop like this here because I want to show you what I want to put there. So I want to create a profile object, and probably it's too much put it here. This would be better like to have like in a database on a way to get it. Well, let's just reference an object. And this is the one that will provide us everything that we need for the information. So I will put here like name. For the format, let's put the slogan. Let's put something like full stack developer and teacher. Something like that could work. And let's put an avatar. And actually, I have an avatar already created for me. You can put an image. I will put this one through here. So if you go to dicebeer.com, you will see that it's a place that you can create multiple avatars. Go through the process, and then you can have it. So I created once long ago, and then I already, and this is the link that it gave me. So I will use that for now. So now I will actually put those here. So I need to reference my source to take my profile avatar. So for here, I need to make this dynamic. So when we reference an attribute to something that is a variable, we need to define it with a with column. So we bind it, and this will be my profile dot avatar. My alternative for the reading, let's put this to be my profile dot name. Here, let's actually put profile dot name, and my slogan will be profile dot slogan. Right? So we can reference those right through there. As you can see there, this is supposed to be me. It looks like me. I'm not sure, but that's what I choose. And yeah, so have my name and my slogan right there. Cool. Let's start making those looks a little bit better. So let's, for the div of the profile header. Let's make some changes here. Um, let's do H24, Y24, like the sizing. That will make it the specific size. Perfect. After we have that, let's actually, no, let's give this to the image itself. Mm, How can I make this work in a better way? I'm just trying to think how to set up. Let's make a container, a div, and I will put the image inside that div. So we can have some elements on the top and some elements to the image itself. And probably that will be the best. So let's do class, and let's make this to have the H24, Y24. So yeah, it's just the image. Perfect. And the class for the image, we can just make sure that you the full space, the full width of their parent container. And I will change this to object cover. So it's like centralized in a way. Yeah, probably. So the parent that I want to do, the first thing is separate the name. So I need to add like a margin at the bottom. So let's add margin bottom of 4. Yeah, now have that separation. Cool. And let's change overflow hidden. That means it doesn't need to scroll if the image is just too big. And I will make this rounded full. Rounded full. So they will make like a circle. Nice. And let's make a border. And let's make this border green. 500 probably. 400. Mm, maybe. That'll make the little border there. It's a bit that greenish. We can change that probably later. But let's keep it as it is. Let's make this to have a shadow. Too large. And make the shadow the same color. A little darker. But let's add an opacity. The forward slash in the color is like a little opacity there. We'll say that. Yeah. It gives you that little like a shining color or like through there. I think looks pretty much fine. When I think into deep class, I want to centralize everything, and that means that the image with the name it should be handled in a better way. So let's go to the parent object and let's do margin bottom. So the next element will be farther down. And let's just make sure this is a flex column with the items center. And let's make the text center. We do that. Yeah. Okay. We can see the name and everything be centered. I think it'll start looking a little bit better. Let's make the H1 now, the one that has that name, to do what we can do there. Actually, let's make some changes to Tailwind. So right now we're using the base components of Tailwind, and it's been working fine so far. But I would like to start doing some custom element, and that will be using different specific. So for Tailwind, when we need to change something on the theme, we just need to add the theme element, theme rule, and we define different concepts here. So I will change the fonts, my sans fonts, and I will create a new one for pop-ins in the display. Um, and I have this already in my computer, so that's why it actually works. But we can change the sans, the one that we use before to use the inter. I like this one, the sans service right away. So you to have those there, so we have that customization. So that will allow us to change this to be font display. I change the type of font. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. If it's not there, we can go to Google Fonts. We can look for those. Um, we need to look for Inter. Let's select what we need. Mhm. So let's make this. Which one will be cool? Probably 400. Yeah, so let's get font. Not like that. See how to use. I'm actually seeing this changes recently, so I don't have the code. Let me see. Give me a second. I'm trying to see how to optical size, specimen, Google Fonts. Okay. Hmm, interesting. There you go. Get the code. So here we can actually see what we need. We need to call the Google API, the static one, and the reference for the font itself. But I don't want to have all those fonts all together. Mm, we can use something like this. So let me just copy this. I go to my index file, and this usually go after the title. Let's paste those there, but I will make some changes itself. So this stays here. So we'll get the inter. I don't need italic, need the other one. I just need the one with the weight. And let's keep the weight simple for 400 all the way to 700. Or probably we can use something. Mm, yeah, I think that's it. And this over here needs to get out. Let me see what else. Let's do it like this. 400. Let's specify this. I'm just making sure that I have just the one that I need. And there's those particular ones. So that will allow me to have my code change a little bit. Let me verify that. Inspect, compute it. And I can see my phone family is enter right there. So it looks like it's working. I like that. And now let's download Poppins for the name, the display one. So for that, let's look for um, let's look for one phone selected, Poppins. Oops, there you go. Hello there. And for Poppins, I just want the biggest one, 600, 700. Yeah. So let's get the phone, get the code, and this look a little more proper. So let me just copy this. And, oh, this is what I needed. Perfect. So for Poppins, I just want to get the no even the 400. I just want the biggest one. So it will be 600 and 700 normal. Semi bold and bold. Let me see. For the inter, here's what I needed. Cool. Optical size. Oh, because it's variable. That is what is happening here. One value, and I will say, let's get 400, 500, 600, full axis. Oh, it's giving me everything there. Well, let's keep it as it is because it looks like this is variable and it doesn't take that much space. But Poppins, definitely, we just need 600, 700. So I will copy this one more time. And I will just swap it again in my reference here. Cool. Let's save it. So I have those through there. And we can see that it's been reflected now. Cool. That's what I needed. Okay. Let me get back here. And I will add the index and the style thing. Added new fonts. And we continue working with the home view. So cool. Now that we have the font display, let's make this. I want to separate the bottom element. So let's put a margin button up to. That means that the slogan will be a little lower, and let's make this bigger to Excel. I like it. Let's just be sure to using the bold section, and let's make this white. Yep. Let's do something similar with the paragraph, with the slogan. And it will be max the white and make this not as big, like it's actually small. Let's make this gray. And that's it. So, yeah, cool. I want to add some particular elements that would be better for the future. Like, for example, if I look at that from a mobile device, I want to my image to be bigger. So I will make this, if my device is small, I want those to be bigger. There you go. Sorry, if my device is actually big, sorry. So if we go to the inspection and we select this icon that I have here, you can see that in the smaller devices, the image is that size and get a little bit bigger. You can see the jump right there. And we can make this a little more responsive the way that I would need it. Right? Let's do something similar with the text. Let's actually make it bigger too in the small devices and the slogan too. So let's make the name in the small devices upper small devices 3XL, and let's make this font keep it as it is by default, but when the small screen are upper, we make the text a little bigger. So that will allow us like to do the jump and the sizing how we need it. Okay, I think I started liking the way that it looks like. Cool. Now let's add the link trees here, the link element for the link art. Let's just copy the page and the link art, added profile and basic link card. So now that we have the profile header, we can go down and we can do link list here. And let's put a container in a side of div element. And here we will put our link card. Link card. Right. We have this is a link card. Cool. It's been imported the way it's supposed to. So let's make this container. We have several link cards. So let's do for now before. Let's do X of I think we can do that. Is on or is off? I forgot about that. Key X. There you go. Here we tell like for X in array of 1, 2, 3 with the K3, repeat the link card. And that's what it's doing here. You're forcing it to have 3 times the link card there. That's it. Now we can start making the styling of the link card itself. So one of the first things that I want to do, I want this to be flex, take the full width with a max width of medium sizing. Wow, what I'm doing here. Of MD, that means not taking more than 448 pixels. And I want this to make column. It's already like that, but just in case, select column. And I want to make a gap of probably 4. Okay, and I can see those there. Yeah, I think I start liking that. And the linker itself, I will keep it as it is for now. Oh, after the link card, I will keep as it is. We will change the link card in a minute. But after this, I will just want to navigate to info, to the info page. So here we just put the router link to info. And we put this like about me, right? And even we can add some kind of menu there, like, let me see if I have an arrow. Yeah, probably we can put this emoji. Yeah. Yeah, about me. And it sends you to the other page. Cool. And let's make this to look a little bit better. So we move the class. And let's do margin top 8. Text small. And text gray 400. Okay, it start looking better. Let's make it underline offset 4 because I want to put the whenever it's hover, this is a pretty cool thing. I want to put it underline. So whenever I have the mouse and let me get out from this screen, it's going to be underline. How neat is that? What else we can put here? Mm, I want to be hover, to be text, green, hover. Whenever I hover, change the state. I want to make the text screen 400. Okay. This is actually probably fast, the animation. Let's make transition colors. Transition. Yes, transition colors, and we make it duration 200. So with that, we have like a little delay of the animation to change the color itself. Like that. And probably we can do a glyph. Let me see if I can open glyphs. Uh, how can I get my glyphs here? Because I want to use, instead of using the emoji, there's one for like, in Windows, one of those, the alt 160, whatever number, and you can get like different characters. Let me see if I select character. Uh, I never used it actually. Emojis and symbols. Okay. Arrow. Yeah, this probably will be better. Right pointed arrow. Yeah, that's what I needed. Cool. So instead of the emoji, I will put that there. That way it's changed with the color. Cool. And we select it and send it to the other page. Nice. Let's get back here. Let's make a fix really quick in the other page. And what I want to do here is a simple router link to send me back. So I will change this through here. Let me make flex, minimum screen, flex column, item center, um, padding on X as 4, padding on Y on top of bottom 8, and in small devices, the padding is actually bigger. Right, and the only things that we'll be adding will be a router link, very similar to this one. So let me select this. Actually, I don't like it how it looks like. Let me see if I can fix it. Yeah, that's probably a little bit better. Router link, and let's put a router link right here. And that will be back to links. And let's make the glyph our row. No, there should be one for left. Yeah. And it will be sending us here. And we keep the same colors probably. So we will here about me and back to links. Nice. Okay, I just want to have those there. Let's add it and navigation. Now let's work in the actual link card and let's make the changes that we need. So let's go to linker, and now we can actually change this. So the first thing that we'll do, if I need an actual answer black, um, that means it's going to send in the information to a specific place. So for now, we'll not be sending anywhere, right? And the content will be the different elements that we want to put here. So what I was thinking here is to have a square with an icon, and then will be a title and a description of that link. And then we can play a little bit with the animation through those elements. That probably will be the best. So right now we'll do this. Let's add some properties on the link itself. So target will be blank. That means like open a new page. The new, no opener, no referrer. And we can make some changes to the grouping thing. So I want to make this class. Okay. So will be flex, taking the foot width. Let's make some text here just to keep it. Okay, yeah, text. It tried to open in the new. Cool. So okay, those are there. Perfect. So make it full. Now let's make item center. Let's make a gap of 4, rounded, a little bit extravagant, Excel with a border. Okay. The border, let's change the color to border gray probably. I'm not sure. Let's make a little clear lighter. Okay. And let's change the background so it's different than the actual background of the main page. And let's make this 800. That's I think the middle part. Okay, it looks a little cleaner. Lighter actually. Mm, what else we can put there? Let's add some padding in general. Padding top, down, left, right. And let's add some shadow. MD. Okay. That looks like the squares that I want looking forward to. With the little shadow. It's actually neat. What I want to do now is what else we can do here? We can make the shadow gray, probably, because it's too black right now. So it will make the shadow a little lighter. And I want to have an animation when I hover over, it actually gets bigger. And when I click it, and it's like an active state, it shrink it a little bit. Let's see if we can accomplish that. So I know that I need to have a shadow, and I change the background, the color of the and let's put that as 900, but with an opacity. Okay, it's a little bit. And I can do a hover, and I can scale to, I need to scale 3D in the 50%, probably is too much. I just to barely scale it. So let's do a scale arbitrary value. and we do the square brackets, and that's when you can send your own arbitrary value that is not in the documentation. So I can do 1.02 probably, and that make it a little bigger. You can see when I hover over, it give it that little animation there. Nice. What else we can do? Mm, Let's change the hover to green. Yes. So whenever we hover, we can. So we have the shadow. What size the shadow? MD. Let's make that shadow bigger first. So our shadow, Excel, and we do hover, shadow, green. Let's do 500 with a 20 opacity. I think that's the one that we used before. That means that if I do this, nice. Start looking a little bit better. Actually, not that much. Um, oh, let's change to green the border too. So let's do hover, border, green, and make it probably darker. Should work. Okay, now it looks a little bit better. And it look like, yeah. The only thing that happen is I think it's actually too fast. I would like to animate those a little bit. So in order to animate it, we need to do a transition to the element. So let's do transition all. I will put all because I don't know how many things I will add in. And let's make duration 300. There you go. Now have that little animation. I don't know if it is able to see it through the video, but if you type it in your screen, that should be a lot better. Cool. Neat. Okay. Now we can focus on the content probably. So now on the content, and I want to have three different elements. One will be the icon, another will be the text itself, and probably an arrow on the right, like a different. But for now, let's just do the icon. And for the icon, we can do several elements for now. I will look some icons that I have here. So if you go to this page, icon.js.org, or even something like hero icon, so there's a bunch of places. You can look for specific icons. I like this one because it has like a bunch of families, sizes, and colors. And then you can select a specific icon that you like. Let's say, for example, this one, and copy the SVG code. So you can use in your code. Or even if you want to download it, give you like the Vue component that you need to add it, like that kind of stuff, right? So this is actually pretty neat. So what I need to do, oh, this is for the give you the component completely for your icon. But let's copy as SVG for now. And let's keep that flag. So here we'll have the, and let's make a code here. It will be the icon container. After the icon container will be text content. So my icon container will be here. And inside this div, we just paste the SVG for now. And we'll make this SVG dynamic. Let's remove this one. Here you keep the path. Let's see how that looks like. Let's do some changes here. So we can remove the XMLNS. We don't need it. We can remove the width height, probably. Let's keep the view box to be 24. I think that's okay. Let's add fill none. That doesn't need to be covered. Let's have the stroke to be the current color. And let's have some class that will be applied. For the path, let's remove this for now. And let's just keep the D section. How it looks like for now. Ooh. So path, let's do a stroke line cap. And I'm making this because I will be changing those in a bit. Actually, no, let's keep those the way that it was set. If I keep this, how it works. Ooh, it's not showing. Oh, because I don't have the sizing. So probably we can remove those. Let's make on the class, let's make it size 6, white 6. Okay. We have those ones through there. I think we can have those as it is for now. I want to encapsulate those in the container and make some changes. So we'll make this flex element, H12, H12. So I want to make the container bigger than the icon itself. I don't want this to be able to shrink. Like don't make it smaller. Keep the items on the center. Justify center. Just to be sure this is in the center of the container. Rounded. Alt G. And I want to make a background. Background rate probably 700. Yeah, that's what I needed. I wanted the icon to be inside like a specific background. Cool. Now that I have that, I want this to be color green. And let's make this. We're using 400 for text. So the icon is there. The icon doesn't look the way that I want it, actually. Probably because of the striking. Let's make some changes on the striking. And I have a code that probably will work. Let me see. Stroke line cap round. Line join. Let's see how that looks like. A little bit better. A little bit. But we can change that later. You can see the hover is working. Cool. What else we can add? Mm, I think for now that should be it. Let's go to the text. For my text content, we have another div. And here we have H3. That will be link title, and then we could have probably a paragraph that will my let's do a simple lorem. That's like basic text to fill, right? Yeah, something like that. Probably it's too much. Let's make this a lot smaller. Mm, probably a little bit better. Let's remove a couple of words. Yeah, that probably is a little bit better. A title, description, and let's start making some changes through here. So let's do a simple class. Let's do the, it can shrink all the way to 0. Okay. To the H3, let's make it class a better font so we can use the font display that we use Poppins. Okay. Now we have that distinction. I want to truncate so it doesn't jump a line if it's actually too big. Font semi-bold, text white. Okay. And what I want to do here is, for now, let's keep it for now. And this one, let's just make class truncate, text small, and let's make it the text gray 400. Yeah. So now have all of the same places and it looks like cool. Start looking a little bit better. I would like to make the animation a little more stylish. So what I'm thinking is when I hover over, I want the text to change color and I want probably a little movement in the icon. That would be neat if we're able to handle. But we need to have that this is the anchor class. So we need to have a group element and Tailwind have that information. That we can group it and then we can move through the grouping to do a specific task there. So let's actually do that. Let's just do right now the link card, edit basic layout to link card. Cool. And let's get back to the anchor tag. And let's make the anchor tag a group. This will allow us to make group animations on the rest of the elements. So that means for my icon container, just because the parent is a group, I can do something like to group dash. Let's make it hover. For the group hover, I want to scale to 110. So the icon gets a lot bigger. Like you see that distinction there. Okay, okay, maybe. What else we can do? We can add. And it's actually too fast. We need to make it the same duration as the parent. So we have the parent to have a 300 duration. Let's make that transition to, let's copy the same transition. Oops. And put it here. And save it. You just save it in the correct spot where it's supposed to be. I'm fine with that. So it lasts the same transition and we can see that icon pop up a little bit. So I think it looks a little more pleasant. It will be cool that the background goes to from gray to the greenish and the text to white probably. So let's do that. So with the group hover, we can change the background to green, background to green, and hover, we can do the text white. And because we have a transition now, should be like, there you go. Pretty neat, right? You give it that really pop up of the link itself. And maybe we can rotate the icon a little bit. That will actually make it pop a lot more. So there is a hover for, there is a rotation, I think. Yes, it is. And we can do a simple, mm, that actually we can send that to the SVG directly. So the square will stay the way it is, and the SVG is the one that rotate. So let's do transition, and it will not be all because we know with transition it will be transformed. That's where rotation are duration. Let's make duration, and we can do the group hover. We can rotate 6 probably, and actually all this doesn't go here. You go on the class, get out, and you go through here. Cool. So now you can see that icon rotates a little bit, but the square stay as it is. Pretty neat. Let's add a little shadow probably to that square. So let's go to the div element and oops, let's do a group hover, and we can add mm, a little shadow. So let's do shadow XL, and let's do group hover, shadow green, 500 with a little opacity. Now it's like you turn the light and you can see it there. Nice, I like it. I like how it start working now. Something that I would like to see is like the actual square like shines a little bit more. That's probably something that we can use. We could put an element on top of everything, except the anchor tag, of course, that it have a specific color. Let's add that. Let's add that like a glow effects. Yeah, let's call it like that. So after my text, let me. This is pretty cool. When you see this, I can just minimize this part, this major div, so I can focus on a specific area. And I want to do hover effect, hover glow effect. And I want to have a simple div that will be doing that without any content. So I can actually close it right there. And I can make the div to be on top of everything inside this anchor tag. So the first thing that I need to be here is class. The first thing is this to be absolute. And in set 0, that pretty much what it does, the inset is the spacing is where it's supposed to be, like top left, right, bottom. And for that to make it work, let's do a simple background to see it. Pink, 500 with opacity of 50%. If we do that, everything go there. And yeah, we have a weird effect that is doing. So yes. because we have the three that each one of them has that is actually taking the whole page itself. We need to containerize that to the anchor tag. So the absolute need to have a relative element. And let's put the actor tab as relative. There you go. Now we can see that the that little thingy, the pinky thingy, is just on top of the element that we needed. Cool, cool, cool. So we can do something like hover, and it actually could be group hover, right? So if we can change that to ping whenever we hover over, that means we can change that to a specific color to give us some kind of glow. And that's what I needed. The ping is just to reflect it and see it right there. But yeah, I start liking this. So one of the things that we need to see, um, we have a interesting class here, pointer events none. What it does is that there's nothing related with the pointer itself. Okay, cool, cool. Let's remove that. Mm-hmm. Want to see we can make it a little bit better. So let's change this. Remove the pinky, and let's do rounded Excel. Right. We don't need to get out from the rounding section. And let's do background linear to right. From let's do green 500 with zero opacity to with zero opacity. But also we'll do via green 500 with 10. It will make it right there. You can see it like that curved thing is like that glow effect that it has. It's right in the middle. Barely see it. And it gives it like a shining metal way to see this. What else we can add? We can make that opacity to be 0. And we can transition the opacity. So that means it's transparent for now. And we can make it the duration. And the group hover effect will be to add that opacity back. So that means that, look at that. Now it's actually popping up the way that I did it. It's actually pretty cool. And I think this is actually becoming a larger project than I expected. I will stop here for now. And probably we can continue on the next week. So we can finish your page and working with other different projects. So I hope that you like it. So far, what we did is we did a little um, mobile design about how things should look like. We truncated, we changed the sizing, so it actually looks good no matter the screen. Of course, there's no screen this size, but we can see that moment through there. We worked with the hover, we have the page ready, we put their name, and we created some little cool effects that easy to appeal to the eye somehow. And it have some tweaks and the moments here and there. That's actually really, really good. So what we need doing for finish this, just to make sure that we actually have this safe added glow. I will sync those, right? And we keep this here. Let's deploy. Yeah, why not? So let's close this. Let's do Wrangler setup. Mm. Didn't like my bit config. Would like to report this error? Yeah, of course. Something's happening with my. There's error parsing my bit config. I have too much thing there. Hmm. This is actually interesting. So somehow Wrangler setup is not working. So let's do it manually. The cool thing about this is we already deployed something before and we should be able to do it one more time. So I will open in another page our view so I can just copy over the different elements that we need. And the first thing will be npm install, let me see. Let me just open. I think it didn't open correctly. Give me a second. Yes, I'm up in the expense splitter. Okay, sorry, it took longer than it's supposed to. So when you need to install in development, that's the, and we need to install Wrangler, and we need to install Cloudflare Bit plugin. Two, we need to be changing our package.json file because we need to change the preview to this one, npm run build and Wrangler dev, and we need to create a new one called deploy. Let's put it at the bottom. Build and Wrangler deploy. The last thing that we're supposed to be doing is we need to import it in our bitconfig. Let's put it here at the end. And that will be our latest plugin. And that should be it in theory. Let's try one more time. So let's do npm run deploy, and that should work. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I was missing something. So let's see if it actually works. I didn't add the Wrangler JSON file. Mm, So I don't know. I'm not sure it is going to work or not. Oh, looks like it did. That's it. Let's try to open it. Yep. Found me. There you go. Just got deployed right away. Cool. In my case, it's Linktree view clone. And we have the elements that we needed there. Okay. So it's weird that Wrangler setup didn't work, but At the end, we saw what we need to install. Wrangler, the Cloudflare Bit plugin, and configure the package.json for the deploy command specifically. And we need to configure the bitconfig to take the Cloudflare and understand how the rest should deploy. So I hope that you like the video. It's a lot longer than it was supposed to be. We didn't end, but we will finish in the next week. For homework, what I need you guys to do is I need to see your name. I need to see another picture, of course. If you want to change colors, you're welcome to change the colors and select another ones. Gray and greenish is more my thing. And give me that GitHub link and your deploy application. Meanwhile, I hope that you like it. Any question, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.